A huge factor influencing how many yeses you get to the offer of your healthcare services is the confidence in which you make that offer. And this is a huge sticking point for so many clinicians turned practice owners and their staff, especially when you're making an offer of services to a patient who will be going out of network in order to receive your help. And if you don't offer your services with complete confidence and zero awkwardness, I guarantee you are losing a ton of money over time and you're serving far fewer people than you could be. So today you're going to learn how to shed that awkwardness and actually change your mindset so that you're totally confident and comfortable when you get to that part of the consult or the phone call where it's time to make the offer. Welcome to today's episode. My name is Jarod Carter. I'm a physical therapist, a cash-based practice owner, and the creator of the Cash Pay Profit Formula. I help healthcare providers like you to create and grow your own successful cash-based out-of-network or concierge practice so you can end reliance on greedy insurance companies, provide a level of care you are ultimately proud of, and regain control of your profits and your future. So if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing because I put out training episodes like this very frequently, along with a free resource designed to get you results faster. In this video, you're going to get a sneak peek inside my Mastermind group coaching calls. We have them every Tuesday at noon Central and record all of them. And this is going to show you an extraction of one of those calls where I discuss two mindset hacks, like two really brilliant hacks that will supercharge your confidence when you're offering the services, getting you far more yeses over time, and of course, helping you to serve more people. But first, if you've been to these episodes before, then you know I have a free resource for you. And today's resource is my Cash Pay Practice Closing Scripts. And they turn consults into cash pay customers without feeling pushy or salesy. So in this video, you're going to learn the mindset tricks to increase your confidence and dissolve the awkwardness when you're making the offer. But this free resource gives you the word for word scripts that are proven to convert at the highest rate prospective patients into happy cash pay customers. So you can download that at drjarodcarter.com/episode 4 and start using it literally right away to increase your conversions, your profit, and your impact. Okay, let's dive in. Sometimes, it just comes down to getting the confidence up in your mind enough to just make the offer, right? And I'll talk about how that offer sounds in a little bit, but let's talk about the mindset side of it too, is that, if you need to, remind yourself every time before you go in, to one of those scenarios where you might be talking to somebody or having an initial evaluation or doing a consult, and just, thinking about the people whose lives you've really changed and really have those canned examples where that, look, what you're offering is absolutely needed for this person to get back to whatever they're trying to get back to. And in this case, we're talking about, physical fitness, where somebody who has an injury that keeps them from working out the way they want to, they can spiral out of control, in a very unhealthy direction. And it can literally like shave years off their life. In the worst cases, the difference between working with someone like you who is giving top level care and actually getting them fully better versus not getting care at all or getting crappy care. You've got to remember that, and you've got to remind yourself of that. You're selling your services to serve them, and you're serving them in a way that can be absolutely transformational. It can allow them to, be healthy into later age when otherwise they wouldn't have been. I mean, it really can. We've all had those experiences where we've had people like, man, if I could have gotten a hold of you when this was just a little stiffness in your knee 10 years ago, geez, now 5 surgeries later and poor person can barely walk around the neighborhood with his, grandkids at the end of the day. It's like, it's so sad the directions that people can go. And you got to remind yourself, like, if I don't get them better, they might not get better, and it might go in that direction. Like, light the fire under your own butt, as you go into these things. You're not offering them or trying to sell them on anything they don't need. Of course, no one in a group like this is doing that and or should be doing that. And I never suggest that. And I have to repeat that to my own staff. Like, I will never ask you to suggest something that isn't that isn't going to be helpful and needed by that person to live the lifestyle and do the things they want to do. Like, you just shouldn't do that, period. Right. So knowing that you don't do that and you're only offering that which they need, and it's something that they need in many cases to like have the level of health and years on their life, and a health, their lifespan is actually their health span. It's not, they're just like trudging through life in a bunch of pain and unhealthy. Like, it's really important what we do. And I know I sound like a broken record on that, but this is really important for everyone to remind themselves of frequently, especially early on if you find yourself, like Leah had said, feeling stuck or not making the offer with confidence, or kind of like, hey, so when do you think you want to come back in? No, you're the clinician. You know exactly when they should come back in the most optimal way clinically. So that's what you suggest. The other day, or in one of these calls, maybe just last week, I was talking about this tactic that I'm now repeating over and over to my staff. Listen, when you're going to make the offer of the plan of care, or suggest when they come back for the next visit, or just suggest what you think it's going to take, I want you to think in your mind, the cost to this person financially is zero. Tell them what they need clinically to reach their goals, period. It's their choice. They can say no, they can say yes. But if you make a judgment or get uneasy about cost or any of that kind of stuff and hold back, you are doing them the ultimate disservice. They don't know when they need to come back in. You do. So tell them. And when you do it, you tell them with confidence, and when you make the offer, you say, look, I've treated a ton of this. You want to plant certain skillful seeds that help them to make the best decision about who they work with and really getting rid of this issue, right? So one of those seeds that you need to plant throughout the consultation, and again towards the end, is I've helped people with this before, and now they're working out again, right? So let's say it's someone's got shoulder impingement with overhead presses, probably the most common thing in CrossFit, or one of. You say, look, what you're dealing with is so common in CrossFit. I've treated a ton of it with high levels of success. And so I want you to know, like, this really does fit in that mold of what I've helped with before. And it's very treatable, and I say that, Mr. Jones, because a lot of people, they have this idea, oh, well, I'm getting older, or I work out super hard. This is stuff I just have to live with. And that's not the case. I can't guarantee, in every 100% of these cases that I would get you 100% pain-free, but a lot of people dealing with exactly what you're dealing with that I've worked with have gotten pain-free, and they have gotten back to pain-free, snatch and overhead presses. Like, just putting it out there and letting them know, like, I help this a lot. You're no different, and I can get you better. Because a lot of people, especially CrossFitters and runners, they just have this idea of like, you're just going to have to deal with pain. You got to push through it. There's nothing anyone can really do. And you got to dispel that thinking, right? And then with that kind of established, I can get you better and back to XYZ goal. And I really think I can help you get to regionals this year. If we can knock this out quickly. This is what that process would look like. You'll probably feel a whole lot better in the first couple sessions, but I don't think I'll get you to 100%. And the problem with stopping before you get to 100%, Mr. Jones, I've seen this a ton of times. CrossFitters, we just push through the pain, and, we're good enough, when we get to kind of 80% improvement, you go out and you do a few workouts with a lot of load overhead, and you're back in the same boat as you are right now. So what I'm suggesting is that we see this through to you are 100% pain-free, and we've addressed those other muscle imbalances that I've already pointed out that are underlying and causing you to have this pain. Because you might get to pain-free in 3 visits, honestly, but you'll still be set up for this to come back if we don't resolve those other things as well. And I think that's probably going to be a 5 to 6 visit kind of plan of care. So again, if you want to get the exact word for word scripts proven to take prospective patients and turn them into cash pay customers, even when they have great insurance, then you can get those for free at drjarodcarter.com/episode 4. And a few other things before we wrap up. I love comments and responding to questions. So if you have any feedback or questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you have any colleagues you think would benefit from this information or the free cash pay closing script resource, please share this with them. And finally, if you found value here today, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my episodes. We do these frequently. They always have a great free resource to help you get results faster in your cash-based healthcare practice. Thank you as always for joining me, and I'll see you in the next episode.